So hey everyone, welcome to Spentarn learning platform, and we are just continuing our series for Python programming to become a Python developer. So for the today's agenda, we will be discussing some important topics from GFG, which is taking the input, how we can display the output, and the different kind of stuff which is very advanced too. So let's start this lecture, okay? Okay, so we are here on the GFG now. Okay, so the things which we will be going to discuss today is taking input in Python, taking input from console. Actually, not console we will be using because generally when we are doing the coding and any of the programming language, we generally use our text window to type the code. So this is not that much important, but we will be discussing how we can take the multiple input, how we can take the output, or how we can just print the output and then print the new without new line, then and parameter we will be discussing, separation parameter we will be discussing, and output formatting we will be discussing, right? This one is very much important. Formatting, that is output formatting, we will be using here f-string methodology, which is somehow an advanced topic when you will be going for the interviews. Okay, so our first topic would be that how we can take the input. As I have already told you that for the comment we will be using hash for a single line comment. So here we will be discussing first of all input. How we can just take the input. First of all, what is input actually? Input is something which we are taking from the user. Okay, input is something which we are taking from the user. For an example, if I want to have the program for addition, for the addition we can have different kind of variable a b c d, many variables, but generally here we are discussing about two variables. Suppose I want to have the a and b and I want to add those. So for that I have an option that is a equals to 9 and b equals to 10, and what I can do is I can just do one thing, which is print. Just forget about all of the things what I'm going to tell you. Just remember that we are just discussing here how we can take the input, so forget about what is print here. Okay, so I will be writing a plus b. Okay, b. Okay, when I'm just run this program, what you will get is 90. Okay, so here what I have done is I have assigned the value of 9 to a and 10 to b, right? I will let you know in the further videos what is this operator, assignment operator, what is it. Okay, but for now just remember this, that whatever the 9 is written on the right side will be assigned to a. That means a is having the value of 9 and b is having the value of 10. So when I'm just printing this statement, I'm getting 90. But what I want now, I want that user must have to type this value. Here I have typed this value from myself, or this is a pre-written kind of value which I will be going to give. And I want that whenever a new user wants to enter this system, he has to enter his own values. He do not have to always show it does not have to always show 9 and 10 only, right? So for that we will be just discussing here how we can take the input. Okay, so for the input, as the name itself saying, okay, as the name itself saying, we are just taking the input. So how we can take it? By using the input. This input will be helpful by taking for taking the input, right? So input we are taking, but one thing where we will be just storing it, we have to make a variable for it. Already we have discussed in the previous video what is variable. Variable is something which will store the data, right? So a equals to input I have write down. Okay, so input will let us know that yes, we are taking input here, input and just braces. Okay, now if I just run this program, what will happen? It is giving me a kind of like to enter something, so I will write 9 here and just enter. Nothing to show because I haven't print something here, or I haven't given any kind of output to show. Okay, so this is how we can take the input, right? Now another thing is, I want that it should show something to me like enter a number or enter a string, because I do not know what to type here, right? If someone wants to interact directly to the system, he will not know that what to type here, right? So I want them to know that they have to type something here. right? So like something what I want them to type is a and the value of a and b. Basically, we are doing the sum here. Okay, let us take the we are doing the sum here. So a equals to, okay, input we are doing, taking the input. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just delete this cell. So what I'm going to do is a equals to input, and the thing which is very much important is you have to do this thing and you have to type that enter the value of a. This is the simple thing which you have to do. Now we have taken the input for a. Now we have to take the input for b as well, because we have to add the two values here. So I'm taking the value for b. Enter the value of b. Right. Okay. I've done this. Now what else I can do? I can take input here like this. Enter the value of a. I have to type the value of a, which is 9. And now it is again asking me enter the value of b. So I have to type 10. Now it is not showing me anything. Why? Because I haven't given it the print statement. So basically we will discussing here the output statement now. What is output actually? How we can show the output? That what it is generating, I want to show that on the like screen, right? So how you can take it? By using the print statement. So print statement will be helpful to show us whatever the result is being compiled or interpreted by the system. So here we have already done a and b. Now why we have already taken a and b. Now I want to do the sum of them. So I want to store the sum into s. So I am storing the sum of a plus b into s now, and what I want to print is I want to print the sum of like the value of s. Now I can directly type s, and when I just run this program, and it will be asking my like 9, I have just given the value of a, and then 10 for the b. Now, oh, what is it? It is somehow surprising to you, but one thing I want to tell you, whenever we are just giving any value to the Python, it will just consider it as a string. So whenever we are just adding to a string, it will just get like truncated, or whatever we say is like they get mixed together like this. For an example, if I was giving the value of a as 9 and b as 10, if I just, what if I just give it as like Spentarn and company? So what it will give me? Here is Spentarn and company all together. Let's see. I'm just writing it here Spentarn, and in the next line I'm just writing company. You can see the output is Spentarn company. So basically it is just adding both the strings, right? Similarly, there we have given 9 and 10, so it was just considering at as the string, so it has just added them all together, right? Rather to do the sum of them. So how I can do the sum of that? So for that, what I have to do is I have to tell the Python that this is our integer type, right? What is integer? We will be discussing it in further videos, but for now, just let us assume we are giving it as integer. Whatever the input I am just giving, the Python should know that I was giving integer, right? So I have given the integer here. Now the other thing is we have just uh, typed here that Python should know that it is integer type. Now if I just run this program and if I just give it 9 and 10, so you can see the value is now 19. This is our program which we want. Okay, so this is how you can take the input and output in the Python programming. Now moving ahead, the other topic is like multiple inputs, how you can take the multiple inputs. Okay, so for the multiple inputs I just want it to be commented for the multi line. Okay, now moving ahead, we just want to know that how we can take the multiple input. So for the multiple input, what we can do is, for an example, I want to give it like two inputs in a single line. Here I am just giving the input in two lines, A and B. I was just giving in the two lines, but I want the Python to take the input in the single line. So what I can do is A comma B equals to input. I'm not letting him know that this is our integer type or string types. I'm just simply writing it here, a comma b equals to input, and enter the value of a comma b, right? And I'm just, the thing which I'm going to add here is dot split. So what split will going to do is, whatever the value we will be giving in spaces, it will just split and give it to the a and b, right? And when I just print a, and in the next line I'm just printing b, you can see in the single line I'm just taking the input, right? But it will be printing the value of a and b differently, right? When I just run this program, you can see it is asking me enter the value of a and b. One thing we have to remember is we have to give the value with the spaces. So I'm just writing 8 for the a and 9 for the b, and when just hit enter, the value of a is being printed over here and b is over here. So this is how we can take the multiple input in a single line, right? Now another thing is, we have just seen what how we can take the output. Now end parameter. The important thing now is end parameter. What is end parameter now? Just make it as multi-line comment. Now we will be discussing here end parameter. Okay, end parameter is something whenever we are just ending our output, we will be just giving it here and equals to whatever we will be just giving and equals to something. It will get printed after that particular line, right? For an example, if I'm just printing directly like Puneet, right? If I just print this one, whatever I have written over here, it will get printed over here, right? Now I want it in the next line. I am just printing print Spentarn. Okay, you can see it is getting printed as Puneet and Spentarn in the next line, right? I want to add here end equals to, and whatever the value I will be giving in these braces will get printed after Puneet, right? So I'm just giving it here star. Let's see what it will give me. Oh, it is giving me an error. Why? Because maybe I have to just add on here this comma. Okay, it is giving me this Puneet star Spentarn. Why? Because I am just ending this line, right? I'm just ending this line with a star, not the new line, right? Whenever I just print only Puneet, when I was just printing Puneet, there it was considering that this is the end of the line. But now I have just told the Python that it is not ending with new line, but it is rather it is printing, rather it is ending now with a star, right? So and will do that work, that will let the Python know that yes, now you do not have to just print next statement in the next line, but now you have to just end the upper one statement with the star, and then it will execute the another one line in the same line, right? If I just write end and give it here like hey, okay, let's see what it will do. It will just give me Puneet has spent 10, right? For an example, I want to give it here space, so it will give me a space here. See, Puneet space. Now if I just remove this one, you will see that it is considering it is considering as the new line, right? So it will just get printed like this. Okay, so this is the methodology how we can just use the and. Now for the SEP, right, this is the separation parameter. So for the SEP, it is somehow similar to this and statement, but the thing is, you can see here I'm just giving Puneet, I'm just giving here Spentarn, right? All I have to do is give it in braces, because without braces it will not consider it as a string, right? Spentarn. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it sep equals to, I was just going to do is like this. Okay, just run this program. Okay, what the sep is doing is, whenever I'm just giving two or three uh, output to show for the print statement, and I'm just adding sep equals to dash in the braces, so it will give me Puneet dash Spentarn, right? SEP will show me like whatever the separation I want to do between these two, Puneet and Spentarn, right? So this is like used for the separation kind of statement, whatever the separation I want between them, right? If I just give it simply space, it will give me Puneet space and Spentarn. See, Puneet space Spentarn. So SAP is doing this kind of stuff for me. Moving ahead, we have this last thing for today's session is output formatting. Right. This one is very, very much important and somehow asked in interviews as well. So what is like formatting in the output? For an example, I am just giving A equals to Puneet in the string format, right? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just printing this statement with giving it like hi and just giving it here comma A. What it will give me? Hi Puneet, right? See, this is the one method I can just print my name like hi A. A is Puneet. Puneet is assigned to A. This is why it is showing me hi Puneet. Now, what I want to do is I want to do it like the user should give his name and then I want to print it, right? So the way is like I will just ask the user to input his name. So enter your name. Okay. So now the user will type his name. Here it is asking enter your name. I'm just giving it Puneet Vasist, right? So whenever just I hit enter, it will show me hi Puneet Vasist, right? This is the one way I can do like print my name with any kind of string, right? Now what I want is the other way is like whatever I will give the value to A or suppose B equals to, I'm just giving it here input, enter your company name, right? Now I want it to use the formatting technique for the output. How I can do is just write print. Now you do not have to do anything. You have to just directly write F, which shows formatting, right? And then this, and whatever you want to show, you have to give it in curly braces. Now I want to show like welcome to. Okay, the spelling is got messed. Welcome to, and whatever I want to show, I have to just give it in these braces. So I will just give it B. Now when I just okay, just comment it out. Okay, whenever I just run this code, you will see a magic. The magic is enter your company name. I will just writing it here Spentarn, and whenever I just hit enter, it will show me welcome to Spentarn. So these curly braces will act like multiple kind of braces I can add and multiple kind of output it will show me. For an example, I have just given it B. I want to show it. I want to add on something like C equals to input where I have to just add the name, right? Okay, enter name. Okay, so I have to just give it name. So welcome to. I will just edit here. Hey, what the name I want to show here? Hey, whatever the name it is, then I just want to print it over here. So I will just give it C. And when I just run this code, you will see another magic, which is enter your company name. I will just entering here the company name, which is Spentarn. And after this, it is asking me my name. So I will just write Puneet Vasist. And when I just hit enter, it will show me, hey Puneet Vasist, welcome to Spentarn. Right. So this is the magic of doing the formatting in the output or print statement. So I think you all got to know what how we can take the output or how we can show the output at the screen and how we can take the input, how we can take the multiple input and how we can use the AND statement, how we can use the separation statement, how we can use the formatting in the print, right? So this is for this whole video. I hope it is clear to you, and if you are having any kind of doubt and if you want the lectures in Hindi or bilingual language, so please comment it out. And these lectures would require some kind of efforts as well, so please make sure to share it with your friends because we are doing from the basics here, right? So thank you so much for joining the Spentarn learning platform.